Eric Burr wants
Fair,
to
Gilmore
know.
changes a lot of people in a tower.
I love you. Did you miss me?
With a tower.
As Caleb meets more advanced arcanists, whose motives and interests all differ from one another, where does he see himself in relation to them? And does he instinctively compare them to Trent to analyze for potential hostility toward him in the group?
Diddly do.
Oh,
I gotta remember to sleep. Go ahead.
potential hostile diddle.
Just read it off the screen.
Yeah,
Just read
don't
the
take
rest
it down,
of them
don't take
off
it down
the
because
screen.
this is making my mind go in like 20 different directions. They're all different from one another. Why does he see himself? Where does he see himself? And does he instinctively compare them to Trent too? Well, yes to the latter part. He's very distrustful. I mean, he went through a very traumatic situation, and it has made him very paranoid and gun shy. And he is, he's a lot better.
He's not fire shy.
He's a lot.
He's come a long way.
He sure has. He sure has. There's a lot that he's never going to let go of, but he's come a long way.
He let go of that stench.
Wow.
That you know of.
I meant him smelling bad.
Mm-hmm.
Does that word mean something else now? I'm not on Twitter.
Just saying
Put the
they're not
question back up.
counting.
There's so much there. I need it. Thank you. There's so much here that a lot is changing for him, or has changed and is still changing. He's very reactive in a lot of ways. It's like whatever is laid out in front of him in the moment that matters to him, or that he can take advantage of, or that he cares about. I don't know. What has just spilled out onto the table is going to be like a real egg scramble for him, I think, because a fucking betrayer god coming back is so much more important than his bullshit. And I don't know that it's going to make him let go of that stuff completely or at all, or just a little. But if the betrayer god is trying to come back, a betrayer god is trying to come back and just shit on on existence, then all the stuff that he's been chasing really, even for him and his like traumatized, fucked up person that he is, he has to reevaluate. He has to. And I don't think he'll ever let go of it. And like someone who is an addict, who still every once in a while has a weak day and is like, I'm good. Fuck. And slips. I don't know that he's past it, but everything that has just rolled out onto the table is probably a game changer, and I don't yet know how exactly.
Okay.
And that's fine.
Hold on. Let's deep dive this for a second. Two things. You can take the question, Zach. Show as much of me as you can is what I'm not kidding. This character to me, and you don't have to comment on this, I'm gonna flatter you for a second, but to me, this character is a very interesting lesson in a clinic in self-forgiveness, right? And the second part of that is because to me, I'm watching Caleb's journey and I want him to become more powerful and I want him to do all these things. But at the end of the day, I don't give a shit. I want him to forgive himself, because at the end of the day, after all the creatures and after all the monsters and after all the stuff is done, it's not going to change his opinion of himself, right? And the other thing is you can get addicted to grief. And stay in that space and choose to stay in that headspace, right? Yes. And we are watching what that does to a person and the internal. And this shows how great of an actor he is and how great of a role player he is and how great of a character maker you are, because you think in layers like this. And I think like those two themes with Caleb to me are the two that really stick out: is the self-forgiveness and then being sort of having an attachment to the grief. And the reason why he has the attachment to the grief is because that's the only emotional thing that he can still have connected to the family. It's like mourning, staying in a consistent, sorry, I'm going fucking nuts on this shit.
Dude, go run.
These are things that I've been thinking about for months and months and months. And you know, I honestly, like, I think the loose goal for this was to like see what happens, and I don't know the answer. I legitimately don't know the answer. I don't have a spot in mind where I'm thinking I'm going to try to stick the landing and get this perfect ending where he's completely absolved himself and has forgiven himself and has the best life that he could be and is the principal of Hogwarts or whatever. I have no idea, it's kind of scary and thrilling, and what we love about this game is not knowing, and I'm really curious to see where he ends up.
What I like too, let me say one more thing, is that you're not railroading your own character. And like in my sort of newly DM mind, you know, you think about people who just go like, nope, this is my guy, this is the story I've picked out for him, it's not going to change. You're letting what's happening, and you're letting the other players and what they say to you affect you and change you and go, this guy he's malleable to me. You know, I fucking love that, man. It's like, it's cool to see.
Yeah. I had some ideas of what he would be like, and really the other players at the table have kind of went, and it's also fun to get, you know, knocked around in different directions.
Yeah.
That's kind of the beauty of role-playing.
We're informing each other's characters.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just like people inform us and who we end up becoming. Yeah. It's, I don't know, it's beautiful.
Yes, it is.
I love it.
Oh my goodness.
No.
Boy, oh my goodness.